Baby, you can call on me anytime that you feel the need. Okay. Hi, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know what? I'm always having this sweatshirt on. I think this is the most convenient because I use this one when I'm going out and I have to hurry up and do something to come back in. So I had to go to the store because I did not have enough cheese to make my homemade pizza. I think I was making pizza before. Yeah, I was making it yesterday. And I was making some today and I was like, um, I used ricotta cheese. No, it was mozzarella cheese yesterday, but this one I just used regular Mexican cheese. So, I walked to the store because my car was on a flat, and the AAA person, he's coming at 8. I think I scheduled it for 8. Anyhow, who because it's not an emergency, it's in the garage. So, um, anyhow, who I want to tell y'all about what happened with me trying to get my mom together. Now, if you guys know, my mom is still in a mental hospital. Okay, the reason why they're not letting her first, the reason was they were saying that she was not compliant with her medication. So that was the main thing, and they said that there was no restrictions on her. Um, so once she became compliant, they were going to release her, and that they were trying to see if she was going to go into the option of getting in a group home. And my mother said that she did not want to go to a group home. I told them, like, that's fine if she doesn't want to, when she gets stable, that's fine. She can live with me. That's not a big deal because for one, I'm in that field anyway. For two, that's my mother. I'm not gonna let her sit out there. If she doesn't want to go to a group home, she does not have to go to a group home. Just because she has a mental illness doesn't mean that you get to force her anyway that she wants to, that she doesn't want to be. Like, and some people have to. I'm gonna say this: there is nothing wrong if you have to put your loved ones in those type of facilities. You have to do what's best for them. But who's going to treat my mother better than myself? And if that's what my mother wants, then that's what she's going to get. If it would be different if she said, oh, I wanted to be in there, I want to go afterwards, I want to go to a group home, but she has not stated that. So I'm going to keep it in mind that that's what she wants to do. So I've already discussed that issue with her. She said she didn't want to do that. So the whole thing was to get her closer to Fort Wayne, where I live at, to get her closer here. And during this process, her case manager said, oh, she didn't think it was a problem. It's actually going to be good. The person that was over her in Gary, which is Edgewater Systems, which y'all, they have, some of those people do a great, excellent job, but it's just so shortage of people. So yeah, anywho, I'm not going to go into detail with that. I'm just going to talk about what happened recently because I'm so freaking pissed, y'all. This is how I know the enemy tries to do things, but they're going to catch themselves up. And this is one of the main reasons why I recorded and I did exactly what I did. So my mother had a meeting in December. They were saying it was a psychiatric meeting. It was a treatment plan meeting and all this other good stuff. So they told us it was going to be on a Zoom conference and that me and my aunt and I could be in the meeting because it's good to have support. Now, neither one of us are her guardians now. Now, she did have guardianship before and they had it removed from her because they stated that she is able to do a lot of things. My mother, when she's in her right mind, is on it. When I tell you she is on it, she is on it. But things are coming with age, and I understand that professionals in the field that I'm in, you have to make sure that are they able to, do this, what's going to be the best situation so they won't be in the same scenario, which once again is guardianship, because if you're putting them in a group home, that's what you're saying. They're not able to take care of themselves. So yeah, but supposed to do, and this is why I'm telling y'all this, because once they find that and they deem that as such, which they haven't, but they've been leering to it, they just kept saying that, this is where she wants to go, and my mother has clearly stated that's not where she wants to go. So they keep kind of leering it in, try to make it underneath, and I was like telling them, no, she can live here. She can live here. They can't say that the environment is toxic because our relationship has actually gotten better. They can't say the things that are around. All of everything around me is up to date. So we're not dealing with the whole issue of the poverty or the poverty mindset or anything like that. As far as finances, I have more finances than my mother. And I've honestly said, you can take, if they really want to take those funding, that's fine. Just give me my mother. And there's so many other resources that are out here versus what the minimum that the state hospital is getting to provide for her, and that costs so much. It is way more money to keep someone institutionalized in a facility like that versus to have them outside and having the services outside, like the respite service and the things like that outside. Not only that, I work in that arena. Okay. I had to deal with, helping with building schedules and making plans and coming up with ideas to make the transition of social skills from the institutionalized area to making it to a to where they're able to function in all areas of their lives, and I believe that God gave me that training for a reason, because I wasn't even in this field. God literally shifted my whole life from traveling in hospitality that way to a different form of hospitality. So, but yeah, I want to tell y'all what happened today, because remember, I told you guys in a couple of videos before, excuse me. I'm sorry. I really don't like to. Yeah, I don't like to do that, but I'm thirsty. I'm dying. Okay. I told you guys before how they were talking to her case manager was talking about giving me the information to her behavior, her ISP or her treatment plan. And basically, this is what it's stating. It's stating all the medications that they have, the things that are going on, the issues that they have going on, and things like that. And the reason why I wanted to have that information, I asked for that before. My mother had already given me permission and given them permission to give it to me, is because I have to advocate on behalf of my mother when she's not able to advocate for herself. Now, when my mother is in her right mind, let me tell you, she's like the best advocate of anything. Like she's on it. When my mother is on it, like legal stuff, she is on it. Okay. But when she's out of it and she's, not in her right state of mind, this is when she needs someone to stand up for her. And then during this time, it's like, because they see it's a process, mental illness just doesn't go away. I'm just going to tell you that. You're going to have upsets. You're going to have things like that. Because it's going on over and over, and they want to say with her age, they're actually using everything against her. They're trying to use it against her. I can't. And then with that, not only that, I can't go and listen based off of just what they said, because some of the things that they told me was contradictory to what, to just what they said before. So anyhow, the case manager told me that she was going to, what's that? Oh, pizza. Okay. So the case manager told me that she was going to send, we had a meeting. It was supposed to be on the 3rd of February. They had it on the 2nd, and she contacted me on the 31st, the day before. No, was it the 1st? I think it was the 1st that she contacted me to say that it was on the 2nd, and that she would like to have me in and all this other stuff. So my mother, when they have the meeting, my mother's not even in the arena. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, why is my mother, she's the main person, she still is not under guardianship, so she's over herself. Why isn't she in the meeting, as if she's not in there? And they're saying, well, she can't go in there because of COVID or something like that. They're giving me some kind of lame excuse. But I have, like I said, I have it recorded because I want you guys to hear. If I was to say this against a court of law, and I'm saying this, even though they said it, they would not believe me. They would take that professional's point of view, because they're going to say their skills, and then they will come after me and say that they could come after me saying that I'm lying. They can go back into some health records and say, oh, well, this and that and this and that. But you can't lie when you have everything recorded, when everything is in black and white. And even if they never believe me when I go to court, because I have to go to court for guardianship, if they never believe me, the whole entire world is going to see this. The whole entire world is going to see this. So, yeah. Okay. So anyhow, They have the meeting, they're talking, they're saying that she still hasn't been taking her medications. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, if that was the case, then I've talked to the nurses. They're saying that the first one was a mistake and they don't think that was intentional. And all this, they just backpedaling. They're not saying they're trying to say it wasn't intentional, but I was like, what are the dates? Because legally you have to have dates and you have to submit that to the state. Anytime someone refuses a medication, if they drop a medication, any kind of a medication is missing, okay? I've had it where we literally had to count each and every single pill, each and every single pill of any kind of narcotic. I mean, and one person had to sign this way and the next person had to sign this way. So you mean to tell me if my mother is rejecting this medication, my mother is constantly spitting this, because first they said she dropped it, then they said she spit it out. If that is the case, where is the documentation to prove that? And on top of that, this is a mental state institution. So if that was actually happening, they're supposed to be legally able to have, even though they do the least intrusive, they're supposed to have methods in there where she's taking her medications. Now, they already crushed her Depakote, which they said that was the pill that was dropped down and didn't find. Then in the meeting, they also said she only has 2 psychotropic medicines and all the other ones, that just all crazy stuff. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, because my mother told me that she's taking over 8 or 9 pills, and they have, they're telling me that she's only taking 2 pills. And then during the meeting, they tell me, oh, she's taking all these other type of medications. So I'm like, okay. So at this point, I hadn't even asked for the ISP again, because the last meeting when I tried to ask for it, the case manager there, which her name is Donna, she tells me that she couldn't do it. Legally, she couldn't do it, but the case manager from Edgewater could. So the case manager from Edgewater gave me the information of her ISP. And her ISP was an old one. She gave it to me in December. It was dealing with September. So, yeah. And then all of a sudden, after this meeting that happened in February, the case manager told me that she was going to send me my mother's ISP or her treatment plan. And I was like, okay. And can you give me all the names of all the people who was in that meeting? Because I was thrown off guard when they had the meeting, because she told me it was going to be this amount of people, but then it was a whole nother team. It was about 6 or 7 people who I had never spoke to. Some of those people don't have a lot of interactions with my mother. They're like at the top. So that was one of the things that I was like, okay, well, if they're getting involved this way, then guess what? I need to be tapping on each and every one of them to find out what's going on. Because you bringing this and saying that this is what's happening, then I need to bring the heat and let you know, like, what are you doing to make this better? Because this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be providing things and making things better. If she's not responding, then it's not working, So they said that she also was not going to classes, which she told me that she was. And I know some people, like, sometimes people lie. I can take that, because if my mother gets really upset about something, she will shut down and not do some stuff, okay? But I have noticed that she has been going to the classes more, because I've been on her and I talked to some of the behavior texts that are in there. They're saying, yeah, she's been going to those classes, okay? Or when I call, they'll say she's in class. So I know that they're not lying saying that she's in class. So that was the thing. So anyhow, I was just like, cool. It's February. The next review date is on the 31st. Let me get myself prepared, because it seems like they're playing games every 60 days. It's always something else new. And when I try to contact her case manager, it's always something else different and I can't reach them. So she called me back. I asked her she called me after the meeting, like I want to say 2 days later, talking about the ISP, and that to call her back and she's going to give me that treatment plan. She's going to send it to me email or text. Now, if you look at the videos behind me, behind this one, before this one, you're going to see them exactly what she's saying, that she's saying this. I didn't make this up. So I call her. I leave her a voice message and tell her, yes, you can send it to me. My email is bell.dean@yahoo.com. Point blank, period. Everybody know that Yahoo. That email. I always use that email. for most of my stuff. Even with my business stuff, I move it and I shift it. Even for work stuff, I move it and I shift it. So I know that that's a guaranteed access to me, where you're going to reach me. So I didn't hear nothing else from her. I heard nothing. So what was this? Yesterday, I'm like, I'm so tired. Like, let me send her an email. I sent her, I actually sent her a couple of emails, but I sent her another one. I was like, look, I found your Yahoo or whatever. I mean, not your Yahoo, your email. And I'm still looking for that ISP, that treatment plan, right? Let me get back to exactly what I told this woman, because she's playing. This is what they doing. Okay. So I sent her this on finally on the 3rd, because she didn't answer to me on the 15th. She didn't answer anytime in February when she gave me that whole call and to give me that whole spiel talking about she's going to send it to me in my email. So today I'm like, this is Belle Dean, Patricia Dean's daughter. Here's my email so you can email the ISP. So then she says, Belle, I apologize for taking so long to get back with you. I have learned something from our Health Information Services, HIS. I'll talk to that about that later. I learned something from from our Health Information Services Department that I need to share with you. I am not allowed to send family members or any entity a copy of a patient's treatment plan via email. I have to send a written consent for release of information to our Health Information Department, and they will mail you the treatment plan to the family member or whoever requested. That being said, I want to have the treatment plan sent to you as soon as possible, but we will need to have your address for mailing purposes to do so. If you can email me your address, I will forward this to you. Now, I already know what that whole thing is, because that's bull crap. You can definitely email it because the other person has done this, but I already know that they're trying to, it's more investigating, and you can investigate. You can do whatever you want because truth is in the pudding. Look, wait a minute. I want y'all to, I don't know if I can show y'all, like, if it can. Okay, so that's her information. Let me see if y'all can see all of that. So I won't be lying. This is exactly what she wrote. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So what I do is, and she's talking about, oh, thank you so much. If that was the case, if you really cared, you would have got back to me like you were supposed to. When I called you over the phone and you told me you thought email was best to contact you, not to get on the phone. When I tried to contact you on the phone, you never returned my phone call. Now we are here, and now you playing games with the email. So I'm like sitting here and I'm sending her a message like, does that mean that because she forwarded the information to the Health Information Specialist support team that is at Richmond, I'm sitting here saying, well, do I need to talk to her instead of you? Because nothing is actually working with you. I can't get in contact with you. You saying one thing, I'm talking to all the other people who are in the building, they're seeing something else. What is going on? Like, this is bull crap. This is total bull crap. So we need to get that rectified. We need to get that situated. Y'all, I'm getting heated. I'm getting so heated. So I just wanted to let you guys know, like, I'm not going to say that it's an easy thing. And this is why one of the main reasons why people don't ask for help, because people they always trying to get over. Y'all, the system be trying to get over. Now, I ain't going to say all of the system, but a lot of it do. Like, a lot of it. These people are crazy. You must have lost your mind if you really think I'm not up to your games. Let me go ahead and call my mom because it's already like 19 minutes. And then I thought I'd let all this rant out, y'all. But I had to, man. I for anybody who's going through this, I understand it. Everybody thinks it's a black and white thing just because someone's acting out and they have a mental illness, like it's just gonna happen and things are gonna happen overnight. No. And then they see people who have mental illness, they want to exploit them, and not understanding that, they're crying out for help. And then when they do get help, then they get exploited again. It's like a double whammy, because that's exactly what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. So, and like I said, I'm not against mental institutions. I'm definitely not against that. Okay. It's a lot of people who do excellent work, but when you come and do bull crap like this, yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. So, yeah, let me go call them.
Carefully to the following options. Wait while I transfer your call. Richmond State Hospital, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling for 420 Unit A.
Okay, give me just one moment.
Thank you. Y'all, I drink Sprite so much now. Since I had intestinal cancer, like, you know, when you go for chemo, that's what they give you. They give you these cookies, and they give you ginger ale, or they give you Sprite. They don't give you no Dr. Pepper. Hi, Danny. The unit code is 420 Unit A. I'm Belle Dean, and I'm calling for Patricia Dean.
Okay. Let me have her call you back, okay?
Yeah, okay. Is she close in the area?
No, she isn't.
Okay, so it's gonna be kind of a while. Is she asleep? Do you know?
I honestly haven't had time to check. I haven't actually got to start anything of my shift. But I will get with her as soon as I see her.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye. And this is the dumb stuff, because now you don't even know if they're talking, if they're telling you who, you know, if they're telling you that somebody is calling for them, if they are, if they're not, like, you don't know. You don't know. You really don't know. So it's almost like a waiting game. It's like they're in control. Like, you can't call them. First, you can only call. This is what was so crazy. And I've never seen that happen in any institution. Even when my mom, and I'm going to tell you this, my mom has been in institutions. When you're dealing with mental illness, it's just not going to happen overnight where you just, oh, I'm free to anything. It takes a lot of work for people to stay out of there, but it takes a lot of people who have mental illness. They're going to be back in those institutions, back around. It doesn't, it's not like a one cure all thing either. It's different variations and different rates. Let me turn this off. So yeah, so they're going to see, a lot of people are going to know who these people are. With my mother, almost everyone in those areas in Gary and in Logansport, they knew who my mother was. They knew the whole process, all of the things, especially Logansport. Like they knew who my mother was. They have like the hugest record of my mother, because my mother had to stay in there for quite some time. She had to stay in there for quite some time. And yeah, so it's not an overnight thing. However, I never had it to the point where my mother could not contact on her own free will to contact the people that she wanted or needed to contact. Either way, whether she didn't want to talk to me or didn't want to talk to someone else, because sometimes she gets in those moods. However, with this institution, it was different. She could not talk to anyone. We could call her, and then they would get her to come to the phone, but she could not contact anyone except on Tuesdays. First it was Tuesdays and Saturdays. Then it was Thursdays and Saturdays. Then it was Tuesdays again and back Saturdays. Now they have something different where they haven't sent the email to anything. And they have stated that my mother can contact, they now can contact who they want. But when we call, they're not going to tell them right off the bat if, whether we called or not. They have to hang up and then, talk to them. Which, to me, it wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be too bad of an idea if the person could remember. If the person could remember the names of the people. Sometimes my mother does not remember. Another thing is that my mother, sometimes if she's tired, they'll just not tell her before she goes to bed. So then she'll get up and think like, okay, nobody's listening to me. No one's looking at me. No one's watching me. They forgot about me again. When in reality, it's just the person who was supposed to tell her has not told her. So now she's going to bed like feeling like, oh, she's all alone. And then she wakes up with the attitude and then wonder like, what's going on? And then you don't find out until she finally gets up and, after a lot of hard work, then she tells you. So, yeah. So this is what I've been going through. And I think it's full of bull crap. Now I'm going to have to contact this Carrie person because I just haven't had the opportunity or the time to even speak to her and to get her to at least to get the information so I can give to my attorney to get the things processed, because like I said, they've been going around and around and around and around and around as far as getting me the information. It's been over a month. It's been over a month when I was supposed to get that information. And then, things are just changing. So I really don't trust them. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say all that. If somebody's giving you the runaround and telling you that, that's just like someone saying, okay, they borrowed $1,000 from you and they say they're going to pay you back tomorrow. Well, tomorrow comes and they say, oh, well, I haven't forgot, and then I'll pay you tomorrow, the next day. If that keeps going on for a whole month, what you're going to think? That person has no intention of doing what they said, or they say, I apologize for not giving you the money, but I see that now I have to go. You have to go and go down the street to go get your money. You told me you would give me the money at this amount of time. You didn't tell me I had to go down the street. You didn't tell me I had to go around, and do all these hoops, jump through the hoops. I didn't jump through those hoops to get the information. I didn't jump through the hoops to give you the money. Why am I jumping through hoops to get what is owed to me, So that's the same thing I'm dealing with, y'all. That's the same exact thing that I'm dealing with. So yeah, I just wanted to let that be known. It's also pissing me off, but just been praying about it, trying to get better. So I'm going to leave it alone. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.